so cold. I'm a gangster in a dress, I'm a bully in the bed. Only time that I'm a lady's when I lay these hoes to rest. The coupe is ruthless, but I get top in it. I'm provocative, it's my prerogative. 80K just to know.
Hey guys, welcome back to another video with Vlogs with Jaylene. If you're new, hi, my name is Jaylene. If you want and you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. So for today, I'm doing a story time. Yes, I'm doing a story time. So this story time is gonna be about the time my neighbor thought I wanted her man. So I'm gonna name them. So my neighbor, her name is gonna be Rosa. Her husband is gonna be named Ricardo. The boy I was talking to at the moment is going to be named Drake. And then my mom, my grandma, and my stepdad are just gonna be mom, grandma, and stepdad. So let's get into the video. All right, guys. So one time, my neighbors, the ones that Rosa and Ricardo, they came to my mom one day before they even moved in, next door to us. And you know, they told my mom, hey, we need an apartment where we're at. It's so dirty, we can't stand it, and we're tired of it. They're even making us pay even more, and it's already a nasty, dirty apartment, and we just want to move. Okay, my mom being nice, she was like, okay, well, the person that lives here is gonna move out pretty soon. I can tell my landlord as soon as that she leaves, you guys can move right in. And so my mom called, gave a nice review about them, and they end up moving in next door. So they would go to church, my mom would go to church. So one day they went to my mom and they were like, hey, want to go to church with us today? And we started going to church with them almost all the time. And we did abandon our home church for a little bit. But, you know, we kept going with them, And so then on Wednesdays, so the church, mind you, their church is in Miami. And so on Wednesdays, they had a little thing by their church with another couple, and they had a family. The other couple had son and a kid and a girl. And our neighbors were friends with the people that had the service at their house every Wednesday. So they would go. So our neighbors invited us to go. So we decided to go, and I got along with their daughter. And, you know, we're good. We're chill. And mind you, me and my mom would always go with them. My stepdad wouldn't go with us because my stepdad he doesn't really like church things. Like, he likes God, you know, he loves God, he knows God exists, but he's not really into that, you know. My neighbor, like, he starts, like, you know, looking at me too much, talking always to me. And in the Wednesday things, in the little Wednesday cultos, they would the little service, they would food after. So he would come up to me and he's like, what do you want to eat? I'll serve you. Like, all up on me. And, you know, I'm like, I peep his wife looking at me some kind of way, and I'm over here minding my own business. So they end up living like 4 years in that apartment, okay? So like next door. And so as we go, you know, we're getting into, and it gets to the point where we're like all getting along, and we're all like it's natural to talk. It's natural to, you know, play around, but not like play around, like you make jokes, you know? And so one day, but he gets excessive. Like, he does extra things that don't look good, you know? For example, one day he came up to, we were in the Wednesday thing, and he came up to me and he grabbed my thigh. Like, he put his hands like this on my thigh, his hands on my thigh. And he was like, what do you want to eat? You know, you look really pretty. You're a really pretty girl. And yeah, God loves you and stuff. So I was just like, okay, you know, I'm over here feeling uncomfortable, looking at my mom, seeing if she ever peeps me, because she likes to talk a lot with her little homegirls and stuff. Because, you know, she gets along with them really good. So she's talking with people that, you know, talking about how the service was really good and stuff. You know, she's into, like, talking about that. And I'm over here like, yeah, I'll serve myself something. And, you know, I'm trying to just, like, move, like. And I always peeped how his wife would look at me, and I didn't like it. So one time, the people that even did the service on Wednesdays in their house, they were a couple. So they were talking about, they made like a service about how you gotta respect your wife and stuff like that. And I knew it was because he was always like on top of me, flirting with me and stuff. And they even like looked at him a lot. They made him read part of the verses so it can get in his head, but obviously it didn't work. So I started telling my mom, like, look, I'm feeling uncomfortable. I don't think I'm gonna go again. And she's like, you know what, I'm gonna talk to him, and so you can keep on going and not miss your blessing. And then I was just like, no, I don't feel comfortable. I don't think I'm gonna go. And so my mom was like, okay, I'm not gonna force you, you don't have to go and stuff like that. So but then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go, because I don't want her to like my mom to be like going by herself over there, you know, nobody else is with her. And then, you know, she's like the neighbors, she's with the neighbors, but you know, I'm just gonna come with her, you know. And that day, or that other Wednesday, so it was every single Wednesday or Thursday, but I'm gonna just go with Wednesdays because I already went with Wednesdays. So one day, like, they always change cars a lot, like, because he works like at a car ship or whatever the F is called. Okay, so yeah, so he tries to get his seatbelt, and his car in the back seat, it has like a real big space here. So your seat is like there, and my mom's seat was there, so there was no way you can scoot because there's a big ass thing right here like the car has. So, and the car was uncomfortable, like literally. And so, and we would come late from the Wednesdays, like 12, 1, because you know it was in Miami, we're 35 minutes away, so they would finish like at 9, and then mind you, we have to drive the whole way. So it was a lot of work. Well, a lot of time, not work. And so then he was trying to get his seatbelt. He was grabbing on my fucking thigh. I'm like, oh my God. And I passed him his seatbelt. And then my mom, like I made an eye contact real hard with my mom. And then she was just like, and then his girlfriend like looked behind and she looked at me some kind of way. And like, at this point, I'm thinking, okay, she thinks the worst of me. She thinks I want her man. I know she does. And it's not good because I don't want her man. He's the one that's, to me, you know, he's the one like fresquereando conmigo, coño, okay? Like, seriously. So, I'm just like, okay, you know what? I told my mom, since you really want to go, and I would go with you, but we're going to go in our car. Like, come on, you got a car, you can drive. I know we're going to come back late, but we can make a time and come back earlier than the other people and stuff like that. So my mom started doing that. But he was still constantly trying to flirt. So it came to a point where my mom was like, okay, we're not going to go anywhere. And they would tell us, why you guys don't want to go? And my mom would be like, oh, we have something to do that day in our church. And, you know, make stuff up. I know it was bad to lie, but we made stuff up so that they won't keep insisting. And so, you know, that happened. I just wanted you guys to like know a little bit more of that. And my mom was still cool with them and everything. So it came one day. This is where Drake come in. I hope I named him Drake, the boy I was talking to. So Drake comes in. So me and Drake, you know, we were texting for like a bit. He lives in my neighborhood. I would always pass by his house when I would go to the corner stores and stuff. So me and Drake were like, you know, some kind of talking, you know, to get further in the relationship, you know. We weren't dating, but we wanted to have a relationship, I guess. And so me and him started talking about meeting up. And every single time I would meet up hiding from my mom, she would always catch me. Meaning, one time I went, I'm gonna give you guys an example. One time I went with one of my exes, he was my boyfriend, okay, to the movies, and I brought my friends with me. But me and him obviously went into a movie by ourselves, and you know, my friends went to their movies and stuff like that. And my mom ended up finding out, like, and sometimes she would even catch me in the act. Not of the act of doing anything wrong, but like in the act, like going somewhere with the boy. Catching me at the park with the boy, catching me walking with the boy, going to the corner store with the boy, and she would embarrass me. And so she like, get in the, she would beep beep, she would beep the car, beep beep, and I would have to get in a car One time it was so embarrassing. I was at the park with one of my exes, and we were sitting down. And my dumb self, the first time I went to the park, he was taking a mad long time to come, like, to get here. I was like, where the fuck you at? And he was like, oh, I'm coming in an hour. And I was like, you seriously? Like, I'm at the park, and you're still not here. And he was just like, go back home and then come back out. And I was like, no, my mama's gonna think something. I cannot go back home. But look, here goes the dumb little girl. She went back home. And I brought my dog just because I know my mom would not let me go out by myself without the dog, because I know she thinks something. So then the second time I was like, I'm going back out. And she was like, you just went out. Like, why you want to go back out again? And I was like, no, I'm just going to go to the park. And she was like, I know the dog did his number 1 and his number 2. And I know the dog is tired of walking. Why are you taking him again? Like, you don't even need to go nowhere. You don't need to go nowhere. Just go in the room, chillax. And I wanted to see my ex because we hadn't seen each other for a long time. And so here goes the little girl telling her mom, hey, I'm gonna be back. I promise we're just gonna go to the park and and I go to the park. Oh, I'm over here, you know, sitting with my ex, having the time of my life, and I hear beep, beep. And I'm like, oh my God, no, she didn't. And I told my ex, oh my God, move, go to another table, do something, disappear. And I started walking, and my mom was like, you was with that boy right there? And I was like, no. Yes, you was. Get in the car. And then I was like, oh my God. Like, she doesn't hit me or anything, but she would give me a whole lecture. Oh, I hated it. And then I went in the car. Okay, the little girl, she drops me home. You know, I'm already like, oh my God, she embarrassed me. I'm ready to be texting my ex, but my phone was broken, so I had to wait till my mom got back to borrow her phone. And so when she drops me off, she tells me that she's going somewhere. And I'm like, oh, can I go with you? And she's like, no, you're staying here. And I was just like, can I please go with you? And she's like, no, you're staying here. So I'm over here crazy thinking, like, oh my God, he's not even gonna talk to me no more. He's gonna break up with me. And I'm like, what is wrong with me? Like, everything was going in my head. And so she comes back and she's like, I went to talk to the boy that you're dating, and he told me that you guys are dating and everything. I don't like him. I'm not saying I don't like him, but I don't like how he sags. He can't be sagging if he gonna date you. And I was like, oh my God, he told you. Why would he do that? And I was like, is he mad or anything? And she's like, I don't know. Don't ask me nothing. I'm mad at you. That's what matters. Okay, and that was another mess. But yeah, now you guys get how embarrassing she would be to me. Okay, now you guys understand. So then this time I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna bring the boy over. He's at least me and him are gonna be in the parking lot, and we're just gonna talk there. So I asked my mom for permission. Can he just please come to the parking lot, and so we can talk here at the parking lot and just have our little conversation? And I begged her, and she was like, no. And I was like, so you rather me to do it without you knowing? She's like, Jalen, I always find out, and it's okay, fine, you can bring him. And I was like, and then I was just like, okay. And I brought him over, whatever. He was outside in the parking lot with me. As soon as he was coming, I walked outside. And I saw my neighbor, the man, Ricardo, laying on the concrete. And I was like, what's wrong with you? Like, get that pasate in Spanish, because you don't know English. Well, you do know English, but I always talk to him in Spanish. And he was like, my wife is crazy. And I was like, oh, okay. And I walked away, and then the boy came, and me and him started talking. Then I see my neighbor getting up and going towards his car, and then he turns to us. And he's like, come on, guys, let's go. Let's go. And I was like, no, thank you. He was like, no, let's go get ice cream. I'm gonna invite you guys. I was like, oh, no, thank you. We're good. You know, we're good. We don't need no ice cream. We're just talking here. And then Drake is like, yeah, let's go. Pinche estúpido. I'm like, oh, get so fucking mad. And I'm like, okay, you know what? Let's go. And we get in the car, and me and Drake are sitting in the back, and Ricardo is driving. So we get our stuff. Ricardo gets some for his wife and his wife friend, because she was there. And so he gets 3 things. He gets one for him, one for his wife, and one for his wife's friend. And Drake gets something. I don't get nothing from nobody. I don't want anything. I just want to go back home. So, and because I was thinking, like, what if my mom thinks I left? What if my mom, like, you know, I was thinking, like, what if my mom thinks I left or anything? So I just want to go home. And so we get back, and then we have a little talk, and he wants to walk to the park, and I'm like, oh no, I don't think we go to the park because my mom just knows that we're gonna be here and stuff like that. And he was like, it's okay, and stuff like that. And then my mom comes out, we're going to church, let's go, we're going to the culto, guys. So you want to come with us or no? And I'm like, oh my god, why is she embarrassing me? And then so he's like, oh no, I'm not gonna go. And then he gave me a hug, I gave him a hug. We both did gave each other a hug in front of my mom. Kind of weird, but that happened. And my mom, on our way to the culto, she was like, so what happened? And then I told him how our neighbor took us to ice cream and everything, and she was like, oh my god, he is still looking for problems. And my mom's just like, just don't worry about it and let's go. And if something happens, you know, we got to control it, we won't fix it. And so a day passes by, and me and my grandma are coming back from the corner store, and we're walking like towards our parking lot. And then I see our neighbor, like I see him like in the parking lot, and he was just like waiting for us to get there. And then he was like, you know, my wife, Jen, I need to talk to you. She's like, and I was like, yeah, sure. And then he's like, you know, my wife thinks that me and you sat together in the front and me and you were kissing and stuff. And I was like, why would she think that? Like, I never gave you any, like, anything, signs that I want you or anything. Like, I said it just like that. And he was like, yeah, I know. And as me and him were talking, my grandma walks away. And I'm like, what the, like, why would you walk away? She ends up going back in the house. And then my stepdad comes out. And my stepdad gives me an eye look like, because he knows that the man, Richard's wife, is going to come outside and start a discussion with me. So I was just like, I peeped it. But then how can I leave him with a conversation in his mouth? And so my stepdad go back inside. And he was like, and I don't like that boy for you with the tattoos. He doesn't look good for you. Like, the way he, like, has all them tattoos. What if he was in a gang or something? And like, you're not my dad to tell me. You're not my dad. But I didn't say anything. I was just like, oh, okay. Well, thank you. Yeah, okay. And then we were walking back to the grass, like, towards our house. Remind you, like, we live next door, so remember. And then he keeps talking to me like my wife is crazy. Like, she's so crazy. I see her peek through the window. And I'm like, oh, she just peeked through the window. I told him just like that. And then I was like, se va a poner caliente aquí. Ahorita tú vas a ver. I was like, it's going to get hot up in here. And he started laughing. And then I was not laughing though, but I was serious. But he started laughing, like thinking I was joking with him. And so she come outside and she does this. He turned around, he was like, adios. And he walks towards his car. And she walks towards me, and she tells him, you're a bitch. I knew you liked this girl, and I knew y'all was talking, and I knew. I was like, where she get all these things? Like, and I'm like, this girl. And then she comes all up to my face. You didn't say. I pushed her, and I was like, you're not gonna come talk to me how you want to. And then she was like, I don't care. I don't care. And I was like, I don't care either. And I was like, I ain't gonna deal with this bitch. And before I walked away, you know what this man did? He got in his carrito, you know, his little car, you know, closed the door, put the windows up, put his little glasses on, put that reverse on the car, you know, and then go, while his wife was going crazy. Like, can you not go away? Like, can you just go to her and explain the story and explain what you're telling me and about everything that has happened? This nigga, se va el hombre ese, se va. Like, he leaves. I'm so pissed. I walked to my house, and then I told my stepdad and my grandma was like, what happened? Told us the tea, and I told them everything that had happened. My mom comes, and she was like, oh my God. Ustedes no saben qué acaba de pasar. Like, you guys do not know what has happened. And I was like, what? And she was like, do you know this lady is like yelling at me, like, come, she want to talk to me. And then I told my mom the whole story about everything. And then my mom goes out and talks to her, and she's like, no, I want your daughter right here. And then I come, and my stepdad grabs me. I'm like, oh boy, like, we're cursing at each other. Me and the women are cursing at each other. So my stepdad locks me out, and I open the window, and I'm so dumb. I opened the window, and I was yelling through the window, and I was yelling, and I was like, you want to come over here then? Stop all the talking. to limit the story and hurry up in the story, she, you know, she go back in her house. We go back. My mom comes in the house. My mom's like, oh my God, the city is crazy. And a few days later, she came to apologize. She's like, can you tell your daughter that I said I'm sorry and I'm sorry for everything I have done. I don't know where my mind was and stuff like that. I was like, que se vaya de aquí, like, to her to leave. And that's like, that's, and then she always tried to talk to me, but I never talked to her. Like, there was no communication. I would ignore, like, nobody talking to me. And, yeah, that's all that had happened. And then they end up getting a divorce because they had their relationship problems, and he moved away somewhere else, and she moved away from somewhere else, and now somebody else has that apartment. Recently, somebody else just moved in there. And so that is the story about my neighbor thinking I wanted her man. So stay tuned, because I'm going to try, like, comment if you guys want me to post story times once a week. And I will be glad to do that for you guys. So I really hope you guys really enjoyed this story time. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. And comment what was your favorite part of this video or of the story. Bye.